Hello, puppies. You are welcome to General Studies class. I am Uncle Popo. I believe you are ready for today's lesson. Then let's start. Uncle Popo is here. I am also here. We are here together. 100% attention. I need 100% attention from you. Our subject for today is social studies. Social studies is the subject we are going to look at today. In our last lesson, we discussed about housing. We talked about solution to housing problems. We talked about differences between the rural and urban houses. We also talked about why many people do not own house in Nigeria. Likewise, the features of adequate housing in Nigeria. Today, we are moving on to another topic. Before we go in details to today's topic, I have a very short story. Once upon a time, I thought you would say time. Good. Once upon a time in a village called Orilope. Which village? Orilope. There, a revelation came that they will give birth to a baby. And that baby, a revelation came that they will give birth to a baby. And lo and behold, the revelation came to pass because they actually gave birth to a baby and they named the baby Kukuma. What's the name of the baby? Kukuma. So then the baby grew up to become a child. And when he was a child, the whole village promised him that when he becomes a youth, that they will give him so many good things. And the parents were happy. So along the line, when the baby was trying to grow up to become a youth, it was affected with sickness, disease, and so many obstacles. So many things stop the boy from become that healthy youth that can lead that village. That leads us to our today's topic. Our today's topic is obstacles to youth development. Say the topic after me: obstacles to youth development. What are the learning objectives for today's lesson? By the end of the lesson, you should be able to state some obstacles to physical development in youth, list some ways to keep the body groomed. I know some of you are looking at the pictures in your sitting room, looking at you when you were a baby, but now you have grown to become whom you are now. Who is a youth? Youth is the time of life when one is young. Youth is the time of life when one is young. It can also be seen as the time between childhood and adulthood. In some countries, they see youth when they call somebody a youth when the person reaches certain age. But let's look at what the United Nations says. United Nations sees youth as person between the ages of 15 to 24. What I'm saying here is that some countries actually see somebody as a youth when the person reaches ages of 15 and grows to become 24. That's when they regard the person as a youth. But here in Nigeria, Nigerian National Youth Policy, they see youth as a person from the age of 18 to 35. Obstacles to physical development in youth. What are the obstacles? One, heredity. Say that, heredity. Heredity is the transmission of physical characteristics from parents to children through their genes. Heredity is the transmission of physical characteristics from parents to children through their genes. I know you are asking, what is genes or what are genes? Genes or gene is a part of a cell that controls or influences the physical characteristics of living thing. What we talk about, it influences the aspect of physical appearance, such as your height. At times you will see some parents very tall. The kind of children they will give birth to will be very tall. That's gene there. Body structure, some will be fat, and you see the child too being fat. Is that gene that is being controlled? Color of the eye, texture of the hair, and so on. That's heredity. Another, you can see from this picture here, see this woman, see a child. Looking at them, if you see their body weight, you see that this little girl is growing up to become like a mom in a stature. And their faces, you can see that they look alike. So that's what we talk about gene. It influences or controls part of physical characteristic of that child and make the child to look like the parent. That's heredity is one of the obstacles to physical development in youth. Let's move on to see the next one, and that is sex. Say that, sex. Sex we are referring to here talk about the gender differences. We are talking about a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, a male or a female. That's what we are referring to, sex here. And boys tend to be taller and physically stronger. That's one of the characteristics of boys. Most boys tend to be taller and physically stronger. That's why you see that there are some jobs that girls will not have the power to do, but boys will get there and easily carry it. So because they tend to be stronger than girls. But when girls reach certain age, they grow faster, bigger than boys. That's another obstacle to physical development. It determines how the boy or girl grows. Next one is unhygienic environment. Looking at this picture, you will see that this environment is not hygiene. It's not hygiene. Looking at this picture, you will see that this environment is not hygienic, and anybody living here may likely be affected with diseases. And when you're affected with diseases, the growth will be affected. So that's another obstacle to physical development in youth, unhygienic environment. Let's move on to poor feeding. Poor feeding is another factor. If you are not eating right, if you are not taking balanced diet, it may affect your growth. Not that you must just fill your stomach with something, but when you eat right and you balance your diet, it will help your growth. But poor feeding will bring poor feeding will really affect your growth. Next is disease. Say that, disease. Disease is another obstacle to physical development in youth. When disease takes over somebody's life, the person will not grow like the age mate, because such a person's growth will be retarded. You will not be growing as you're supposed to grow. Disease is another factor. Next is exercise. Exercise is very good for all of us. And I would like to correct this belief that it's only fat people that need to be having exercise. Because most people that are slim, they will think, I'm not fat enough, so why do I need to do exercise? Everybody needs to do exercise. But you choose the type of exercise you do, because the same exercise that is good for A may not good for B. So you check your health status to know the right kind of exercise that will be good for you. So exercise is another obstacle. Next one is bad habits. What did I say? Bad habits. Bad habits in the sense that maybe seeing people smoking, seeing some people drinking alcoholic drink, how you think you will try it one day. It's a bad habit and it will really affect your growth. So you don't cultivate any habits that may affect your health. So that's another obstacle. Moving on to the things to be done to keep the body well groomed. Things to be done to keep your body well groomed, to keep you fit, to keep you healthy. What are those things? One, you eat well-cooked food and balanced diet. Balanced diet will really help you. You eat well-cooked food and you eat balanced diet. You eat it at the right time and in the right proportion, because some of us just feel like feeding the stomach anyhow, whether it nourishes the body or not. We should leave that aside and concentrate on making our food to be balanced. Another one is do regular exercise. You need to do regular exercise. You don't do exercise when you feel like doing it, because once they have exercise today, it may be after 2 months that you say, I want to have another exercise. You should do regular exercise. You may fix it maybe twice a week, once a week, depending on how you feel like, but not only when you feel like having exercise. So regular exercise will help your body to be well groomed. Next is observe personal hygiene. Personal hygiene here, we are referring to your regular bath, you take your bath in the morning and in the evening. You brush your teeth. You brush your teeth 2 times a day, in the morning and before going to bed. Because I know that some parents, even if the child wants to brush at night, some parents will say you are wasting the toothpaste. And it's not. The ideal time to brush your teeth is 2 times, in the morning and before going to bed. I hope you will change to that. Good. Then you wash your clothes. You don't wear dirty clothes. Dirty clothes will really breed. You don't wear dirty clothes. Next is have enough rest and sleep. Have enough rest and sleep. During this period, I know some children prefer to sleep when they like. Some will play video game or keep themselves busy with unnecessary things that will make them sleep late. This will really affect your health. So you must have enough rest. When it is time to sleep, you go and sleep. Enough rest and sleep will help your body to be well groomed. Today, we have successfully talked about the obstacles to physical development in youth, where we talked about heredity, we talked about unhygienic environment, sex, poor feeding and disease, and so on. We also talked about things to do to keep the body well groomed. And we discussed about balanced diet, regular exercise, observing personal hygiene, and having enough rest. All these will help to keep our body well groomed. Now I have a few questions to test if you had really paid 100% attention to today's lesson. Question, your time starts now. Uncle Popo is here. Are you there? Are you really there? Good. Now let's check the answers to the evaluation and see how you have done for today. Answers. The obstacles to physical development, heredity, unhygienic environment, sex, poor feeding. Check and mark accordingly and score yourself. We have come to the end of today's lesson. Until next time, let's listen. Uncle Popo says, keep on studying.